So this is a review of the WINBOOK 10.1 inch tablet. Now, let me start by explaining, first of all, I hadn't really purchased much new lately, but I wanted to get a device that I could have a little bit of fun with, something that was light. I had considered the Windows Surface tablets because I like the ability that they have to play games and whatnot. And anybody who's taken a look at the Surface tablets already knows that the prices on those things, in order to get like a Core i5 capable or Core i7 powered device, you're looking at top dollar for one of those things. So basically, considering the fact that I like to get as much done as efficiently as possible, I decided to go against not buying the Surface tablet. I decided to give the WINBOOK series a try. Now, if you've already seen my last video, I reviewed this 7-inch WINBOOK, that's the name of the brand at Micro Center, tablet. And the 7-inch tablet, I was actually quite amazed by it. The 7-inch tablet was only $60. It came with 16 gigabytes of flash memory. It had 1 gigabyte of main DDR3 memory. And it has a quad-core BayTrail processor. To tell you the God's honest truth, the WINBOOK tablet that I was using at $60 was actually faster loading and easier to use than some of the Windows 8 laptops that I've been using lately, especially the Windows 8 budget laptops. So if you're considering right now buying a Windows 8 laptop, you might want to actually give the tablets a look. However, I do have a warning for you. As you can see, the 16 gigabyte version was $59.99, but when you go to the 32 gigabyte version, even though the screen goes up 1 inch from 7, you get 2 gigabytes of main memory, but the price goes up to $120. What I did was I purchased not only the 7-inch for my robotics, but I also purchased the 10.1 inch, which I'm about to review now. The 10.1 not only gives you the 2 gigabytes of memory, but it also gives you 32 gigabytes of flash memory. Why is this important? Well, the problem is if you have a tablet that can actually run Windows 8.1, the problem with these tablets is if they only have 16 gigabytes of memory, Windows 8 takes up pretty much all of the memory. Windows 8.1 takes up almost 16 gigabytes all by itself. Now, these devices also come with a free 1-year trial of Office 365. The Office 365 allows you to install it on either one Mac and one PC. It gives you a choice between one Mac or one PC and one tablet. So what that means is that once you have that free trial, you can log into Microsoft Office 365 on your phone, and you can have it on your tablet, and you can have it on your desktop or your Mac. That's a pretty good thing for a trial. The thing about it is no matter what, if you are buying these things for productivity, you're going to end up having to buy the full version for like $90 or whatever it is. If you get a student discount, you might get it cheaper. So anyway, as you can see, they sell covers for these things. The cover is only $15.99. Now I'm going to actually start showing you the equipment. So this is the tablet cover for the 10.1. $19.99, but I think it was actually $15.99. This is the device. This right here is the tablet, the WINBOOK 10-inch. As you can see, quad-core processor, 32 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes RAM, etc., etc. And just to be thorough, I bought the 10.1 key cover, $49.99 to give me a full-size keyboard. And the 7-inch tablet keyboard that I bought from the eBay, I'm going to just put that to the side. This tablet is now pretty much a full laptop. So you figure $49.99 plus $199, $250. However, if you purchase them on sale, you can get this 10.1 for only $150. If at tops, you might pay $159. So just ask your Micro Center personnel about whether or not they have any of the 10.1s on sale if you're looking for one. Now, will you have the power that you have out of a Microsoft Surface tablet? The answer is pretty much no. Those Surface tablets come with mobile i7s. You're not going to get that for anything less than $1,000. However, when you think about the fact that I've gotten this 10.1 and this keyboard, a real nice hard keyboard, and I've only paid $200 for it, Well, just think about that for a second. I paid $200 for this and $50 for the keyboard. That's a hell of a lot less than buying a Windows Surface tablet, and I can still do the exact same things because I'm running Windows 8.1. Not Surface or not RT. I'm running Windows 8.1. So this is the WINBOOK tablet cover that's $50. As you can see, it's a typical tablet cover, and it comes ready to accept the WINBOOK 10.1 inch. It's got the solid feeling that you'd expect out of out of a production device. Obviously, as you can see, making me just a little bit angry is the fact that everything's made in China. But you know what? You'd have never been able to get something like this at this price if it wasn't. I really would like to see America building stuff like this itself, but the keys are nice and springy. There's plenty of space between them, unlike that little keyboard case that I had gotten for $13. There's just enough space between them so that you don't accidentally hit keys, and they have a nice spring to them. Obviously this doesn't, light up or anything, but considering the price point, it looks like it's ready to do its job. And as you can see, it has small Windows features like that Charms Bar button, and it has the Windows Charms Bar key. So that's pretty much what you get. Now, what I didn't realize was the fact that if this already comes with a cover, that having this second cover right here, could get in the way, because you have to pretty much take this off. Because this cover right here has a clip. It has like a clip that goes around the side of the WINBOOK, which means that, only one of these can be used at a time. You can't use both at the same time. So I'll probably keep them both, but me personally, I really don't see myself using this much as a tablet as I do using it as a small, tablet laptop, because I bought my girlfriend an Asus Transformer, and I made a video about that, which I'll probably link to this review. And the Asus Transformer was probably the best Android tablet that I've seen. And I know Galaxy, Samsung, they have their own, but this is actually, it's really good for what I plan on using it for. So this thing is probably better than most $200, cheap Windows 8 laptops. So, that's just what I wanted you to know about the keyboard cover before I move on. So I've pulled the WINBOOK out of the other case, and now I've got it in this one. So the way you're supposed to fold this up is you're supposed to lift it, and it folds into a triangle. When it folds like this, the WINBOOK tilts up, and it leans against the triangle. How about that? So when you turn it all around, what you get is the laptop effect. So I've got this right here. Now, I also have a 16 gigabyte micro SD card. Now, I can use up to 64 gigabyte cards in this device. I recommend you get the 64 gigabyte from eBay. So this way you'll have the 32 gigabytes for your apps, and then all of your files you can put on the 64 gigabyte. But mind you, because of the fact that these things come with a full USB drive right here, and it's Windows 8.1 that can accept anything, if you really wanted to, you could hook this thing up to a Western Digital hard drive or a Seagate hard drive. There is a lot of potential in these things, and they're very, very light, and they're very, very efficient when it comes to the price point and when it comes to the size, which is why I bought it. So let's turn that bad boy on. Use the turn on button. Let's see what it does. Turn that bad boy on. Let's get it on. WINBOOK. And let me tell you something. I've been using these I've been using the WINBOOK system for over a week, and I'm very, very impressed with it. I'm very, very impressed with it. And now I can get Counter-Strike on the 10-inch instead of the 7-inch. I'm also going to put Command and Conquer, and I'm probably going to put a couple of old PC games that I used to like. I'm going to put those on here since they take up almost no space. So here you go. This is Windows 8.1. This is your typical registration process. Notice the beautiful thing about this is it actually has the touchpad. So unlike that keyboard case that I bought, this one actually has a touchpad, and it also has left and right click. and that was 50 bucks. I'm actually I love these things. I mean, Micro Center actually has a really good thing going right here, and they really need to, a license term. Nobody ever reads the license terms, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, with that, you know, nobody's going to read this stuff. You know, that too long didn't read meme? Yeah, basically nobody reads this shit. I think I just sold my soul. I think I just sold my soul to, Janet Reno. Okay, PC name. What's cool? PC name, Big Truck Series Review Tab. Wait. Big Truck Series Review. I'll just call it Big Truck Series Review WINBOOK. That's cool, right? Oh, you know what? I just typed it in, and you can barely see it here. I don't know if that's a security feature or what, but whatever. Okay, next. I really like this. This is really cool. The PC name is too long. God damn it. Okay, Big Truck Series WINBOOK. Big Truck Series WINBOOK. Please tell me that's not too long. I like that name. Oh, god damn it. Big Truck Series WB. Okay. No. Okay, wait. Shit. That sucks. Alright, Big Truck Series WB. It says contain invalid characters. Maybe it doesn't like caps lock. God damn you, Windows. Fuck. BIG Truck Series WINBOOK. Oh my god. Big Truck Series WB. WB. Okay, let's leave it like that. Oh my god, it's still too long. That's ridiculous. Let me see Big Truck Series. Shit. Okay, good, I got it. Okay, now it wants me to put in my Wi-Fi, so I'm going to put in my Wi-Fi, and then I'll continue the video from there. Now that that's in, the computer wants to set itself up. So you can either use express settings or you can customize. I'll just use the express settings just so it gets done quicker. So it checks the internet connection and it starts downloading everything. And for all of you who've used Windows 8 already, it does exactly what you would expect it to do when you're first starting up. But once again, because of the fact that this is all flash memory and there's no moving hard drives or anything, essentially what you're dealing with here is a 32 gigabyte SSD to which you're only able to use half of it. I have to log in. But what I have to say is the performance is much, much faster than a cheap laptop, which is something you might want to consider. Everything's in and it's ready to roll. So it's asking you about OneDrive. With the 16 gigabyte, OneDrive basically doesn't even work. So basically, now that I have 32 gigabytes worth of memory, 16 which I can use, I can load maybe about 3 or 4 games, possibly even 5. And on top of that, I can put Windows, Microsoft Office 365. And on top of that, I can put in some other basic programs. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, but the beautiful thing about it is it runs Windows 8.1. And if it runs Windows 8.1, you can use anything that you normally would use with Windows 8.1. That is awesome. Okay, and then you got to go through this long-ass process of downloading any available updates and whatnot. And you know what's funny? This tablet is Windows 8.1. They skipped over 9, and I just heard that Windows 10 is coming very soon. And with Windows 10, many people who have Windows 8 and are infuriated by it, or Windows 8.1 and aren't very happy, I heard that you'll be able to upgrade to Windows 10, and it's most likely that you'll be able to do it for free. So apparently Microsoft has, you know, pretty much recognized the fact that they fucked up really, really bad with Windows 8. And instead of trying to rip you off and force you to pay into Windows 10, it looks like they're going to let you just upgrade. Or at least we hope that's what the case is going to be. Because it's really disgusting to see so many people, you know, just upset with Windows 8 and having to take it back. And there's a lot of you nerds and fanboys of Windows who are online who say, oh yeah, well all you gotta do is just learn it. All you gotta do is just install Classic Shell, and Classic Shell puts your Windows key button back where it's supposed to be on the screen. All you gotta do is just install Classic Shell. To which I don't understand why certain people are allowed to reproduce. But the simple fact is I shouldn't have to relearn Windows. I've been using what essentially has been the same Windows interface from Windows 95 to Windows 98 to Windows 2000 to Windows XP to Windows Vista to Windows 7. So for some retard to fuck up Windows 8 and then think that by doing a half-ass job putting the features that they screwed up in Windows 8 back in 8.1, for them to think that that allows them to get off, no, I don't think it does. And I refuse to forgive them. Oh, here it is. It took about 4 or 5 minutes. It was probably about 4 minutes. And this is the Windows desktop that you're greeted with. Now, I'm really loving this keyboard case. I'm really loving the fact that it has a touchpad, because even that cheap keyboard that I got off of eBay didn't have the touchpad. What I notice is that the multi-touch features do still work, so that's good. Or you can just push the left and right key and you can cycle through things, so that's good too. So naturally, of course, what are we going to do? We're going to go to Windows, and of course you're greeted with the antivirus protection thing. But what I want you to see first of all is right here when you go to the file folders and file systems, what you're going to notice is exactly how much space you actually have when you start. I really think it's not fair for anybody or these companies, Best Buy, whatever, when they sell these products, they really need to tell you exactly how much hard drive space you have. So as you can see, I have 20 gigabytes free of 24 gigabytes. Now, 24 gigabytes ain't what this box is. Look at that. 32 gigabytes, right? So that means that Windows takes that 32 gigabytes, chops that to 24, and then out of that 24, you have 20 gigabytes worth using. Now, that is the main reason why I knew I was going to upgrade. So as you can see, a lot of people have had problems with that. Like, for instance, if anybody who had an iPhone 5 and they wanted to upgrade to, if they had the 16 gigabyte, if they wanted to update their iPhone, they usually couldn't, because the problem was iOS took up so much space that they wouldn't have enough space in order to upload the software updates, so they couldn't get it. But I really didn't care, because this, even, the video that I'm shooting right now, I bought an iPhone 6 Plus, and I'm very happy with that. So what I've got here is my flash drive. And I'm going to take the flash drive, I'm going to plug the flash drive right in there so I can download Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike. There we go. Let's do some Counter-Strike. Okay, so now I've got that. Okay, Counter-Strike. So basically, if you have torrents or if you have game images, you can... As long as it doesn't require hardware acceleration, the quad-core processor in these computers is good enough to run those games without a hitch, as long as you don't require hardware acceleration. Counter-Strike. Yes, I'll take Counter-Strike, please. And it's off. I agree, whatever. Download Counter-Strike. The destination does not exist. Yes, I would. Thank you. Program will install Counter-Strike. I already showed you how Counter-Strike works on the 7-inch, and the 7-inch was only $60. But obviously, you already know it's going to work better on here because I have even more memory. I've got 2 gigabytes rather than 1 gigabyte of system memory, so that's even better. So while that's doing that, let's look down here. Naturally, you can use Windows Internet Explorer, or you could download Google Chrome, which, strangely enough, most people are using now because Internet Explorer is extremely screwed up, considering, Windows 8 has a horrible, like, it just sucks. It just sucks all the way around. Let's go to my YouTube. Let's go to Big Truck Series Review. Big truck. Let's test these speakers. Big truck series review YouTube. There we go. Let's test out these speakers real quick, just to see how nice and loud it is. Cessna Skyhawk. I gotta make more flying videos. Look at that. I just crossed 7,000 subscribers, and on top of my 7,000 subscribers, I also crossed 7 million views today. So I got 7,000 subscribers, 7 million views. Lucky sevens, baby. Lucky sevens. Lucky sevens. Okay. And for all of you who keep asking me, I've made a bunch of videos about how you can monetize your YouTube, how you can make money off your YouTube. And as it stands, I'm pulling in over $800 a month on my YouTube. So any questions about that, you can ask me, and I don't mind answering them. Let's see this Raising Hell in Brooklyn with the Hellcat. I just want to see what these the sound is like. Let me just turn that up. Okay. See what the sound's like right here. Where's the speakers? Speakers are on the back. These are stereo speakers. For some reason, it's not extremely loud. Let me see, maybe if I touch right here. Nope, that's 100%. The speakers really aren't that loud. And I think also the back of this thing blocks the speakers to some extent. It looks like the triangle fold doesn't really block the speakers. It's just that they're not very loud. For some reason, it kind of felt like the speakers on the other one were much louder. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something I could do with that. Okay, whatever. I mean, you know, most people are going to use this thing with Bluetooth headphones, or they're going to use it with, what's it called? Not Bluetooth headphones. They might use it with headphones anyway. It says, do you want to view YouTube in full screen? Of course. Of course, Batman. Of course. Okay. Yeah, the speakers aren't really that loud, but then again, I didn't really buy this for the speakers. I bought this for the functionality of Windows. So how about that? Dodge Challenger on the Windows WINBOOK 10.1. So I'll just push escape and get away from that. Okay, so as you can see, this thing is smooth and fast. In fact, let's go to Can You Run It? Let's see what this thing can. Can you run it? But no, you know what? There's no point in doing that, because the problem is this thing doesn't have a video accelerator. Because it has no accelerator card, you pretty much are locked into any game that does not require 3D acceleration. Quad core or not, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, let's just take a look. 7,001 subscribers. This morning I only had like 6,990. I didn't know by the time I went out to the store and came back that I'd have more subscribers. Ain't that something? I got to do more and more reviews. And it's still, I don't understand why people haven't figured me out yet. They keep criticizing me about the fact that I use my iPhone 6 for my reviews, but what they don't seem to understand is it costs me nothing to use my iPhone 6, and if I use anything else, it would cost me more money. I'm making these videos free. Look at that. Look at that. Flying a plane. Yeah, that's me. Flying planes, baby. I'm going to get a nice video of a Citation jet when summer comes around, because I don't like to fly in the winter when it's dark and all that. But when summer comes back around, I'm going to put more flying videos up, definitely. So anyway, let's check on Counter-Strike. Let's see if Counter-Strike is done. How about that count? Oh, let me turn that off. Let me turn that one off so it doesn't play in the background. Yes, launch Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike. I want to get Command and Conquer on here too. Okay, so what you got to do first, I want to run it full screen. Let's run that full screen. Public networks, private networks, whatever. Allow access, yeah. I want to run that Counter-Strike full screen, baby. Video, OpenGL. I think I may have to use software, but I'm going to leave it on OpenGL, see what happens. Let's try resolution 800 by 6. And display is widescreen, maybe? Let's see what that does. It may crash it, I'm not really sure, but let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, baby. I'm not going to really play right now because okay. See, the problem is because there's no thing, I think you have to run this in software mode. That's what I think you have to do because there's no 3D accelerator. So quad core or not, you're still somewhat limited. Let me see what happens. I'll push new game, get a couple of bots in there. I just want you to see what it looks like. In fact, instead of a bot match, let me show you the fact that, once again, you can find servers online. So there's lots of servers online, and I'm just going to join a game, play for... I'm not even going to really play. I just want you to see what it looks like. So, once again, if you are in the market for a really cheap laptop, this entire setup cost me $200. Oh, shit, I hate that. This entire setup cost me, let me see, Desert Dust 2. This entire setup cost $199 for this tablet in particular. It cost $50 for the keyboard. Just keep that in mind. It's a very good deal. A very good deal. And yes, you can play older online games that you can run on Windows XP and Windows Vista without 3D acceleration, no problem. Especially if they don't take up very much space, because this way you'll be able to use that 32 gigabytes for maybe 5 or 6 games. You won't have a problem. And I'm not sure if I can run a game off the SD card, but I'm going to definitely try that when the 64 SD card comes in. Alright, so I just want you to see what it looks like. There we go. Alright. Yeah, there's no slowdown. Everything loads nice and smooth. No slowdown whatsoever. Isn't that cool? Counter-terrorists. I'm not going to really play. I just want you to just see it. Okay, so that's Counter-Strike. So I'm just going to push escape. I'm going to push escape, and I'm going to get out of this one. Okay, so if you can play Counter-Strike, you can play Half-Life, and you can also play Quake 2. And I don't know how many people are still playing those games, but the simple fact is you can, and that's all that's important. So other Windows stuff still works exactly as you expect. Bill Belichick. The Deflatriates. You got to watch out for those guys, because they'll take the air right out of your tires, and the next thing you know, you'll be riding on your rims. And I'm going to activate Microsoft Office so I can automatically download it. So, you know. But, yeah, this computer, I mean, you know, you get what you pay for, but this is actually a really good system. So, you know, any questions, please forward them to me. And, of course, Skype works. There's a front camera right here in the bridge, and there's also a rear camera on the back. So, naturally, you can Skype people. Skype is awesome. One of my relatives was in another country recently, and I was using Skype to talk to them with video chat for 100% free. There's the store. Everything works exactly as you expect if you've ever used Windows 8. But I will tell you, the tablets and the Surface Pro tablets, these are actually way better than buying a laptop Windows 8, because no hard drive to run slow. These things run a lot faster. So I have to say, I'm very, very impressed with this. I don't really think there's anything else I have to really talk about with this. I think I covered pretty much everything. But if there's something... Oh, you know what? I could log into the Xbox Live system. So let me do that right quick just to show you what that looks like. I'm not sure what Microsoft has planned for Xbox One in relation to Windows 10. But whatever they have coming, this tablet can handle most of it, because I'm pretty sure Microsoft already knows that for the most part, most Windows tablets are pretty much unequal in terms of performance. So if they do offer games, this one will be able to play it because of the quad-core processor and the abundance of memory. However, it won't be able to get access to anything that you'd only be able to play on the Microsoft Surface Pros. So that in and of itself is, you know, hopefully they come up with some good stuff, because I'd really like to see a free upgrade to Windows 10. But other than that, I really can't think of anything else to show you. So it looks like everything pretty much really is nice and smooth. The Dow is 17,000. Everything's going well with my stocks. I mean, what else do I got to say? If you have any specific questions about this device, put it in the comment section, and I will get right back to you. Thank you so much for watching my lovely review of the Windows 10.1-inch TW100.
But now it's also connected to the cloud.
Look at my hand.
Which means it's connected to you. When you're signed in, your themes, settings,
Get those meat hooks.
are there. Even on different devices. So your files are always waiting for you. At home, at work, wherever you happen to be. Just sign in and it's your brand new office. Just the way you like it.
Just the way I like it.